It's very challenging. As these excellent advocates know, we have a lot of questions. It's very hard because, well, for example, if we have two issues in a case, I will try to tell people, why don't we focus on the first issue first, and at some point when I feel we've heard enough, I'll ask a question and we'll shift to the other issues. Sometimes that works. I try to encourage people to let people preserve time. In other words, the white light goes on with 5 minutes left. I think we should allow people to save time, so I try to encourage people not to ask questions. It doesn't always work. Sometimes people, some of the justices spend more time spitting out their questions than others. And if they're, taking up a lot of airtime, I try to direct the questioning elsewhere, which is not easy. I mean, I'll look over and I'll see that, Justice Kagan has been trying to get a question in, for the last 15 minutes, and another justice has been going on. Then I will actually say, Justice Kagan, you have, a question. Or I try to look out for the lawyers, the justices, and it's, I don't know if you can blame them for it or not. It's just the way it is. They will often ask questions of counsel, and one of the other justices will obviously respond in the form of a question. And you see that all the time. Justice O'Connor and Justice Scalia had a wonderful exchange that I vividly remember when Justice O'Connor asked the lawyer something about, well, I don't think there may not be jurisdiction in this case. Tell me about that. And Justice Scalia jumped in and said, well, isn't there diversity jurisdiction here? And Justice O'Connor said, well, isn't the corporation headquartered in Delaware? And isn't that? And Justice Scalia said, well, but their principal place of business. And the lawyer's looking like this. It's like Wimbledon. He's looking back and forth. And then Justice O'Connor asked one question, and the lawyer looks to Justice Scalia. And he leans over and says, you're on your own. So I try to avoid that. I will say, this might be, if some justice is really, badgering, I'll say this might be a good time to let counsel answer the questions or things like that. But you do have to be careful. I remember when I was a lawyer, Justice Stevens asked me a question. And before I could answer, another justice, asked me a different question. So the rule always is you answer the last asked question. So I answered Justice whoever's question and turned a little theatrically to Justice Stevens and said, I didn't have an opportunity to answer your question. And Justice Stevens is beaming, oh, this is great. And I'm looking at him and I realize I don't remember what his question was. And so I just mumbled something about why we should win, and he looks very confused. So. But I will say we ask too many questions these days. We don't take as much benefit as we should from the extremely high quality bar that we have. And I try to do my best to allow not only the lawyers but also all of my colleagues to participate to the extent they want to.